Hello everybody, so another video, and today I'm here because it's my first day of school. Yeah, literally my first day of school, like, just ended. And around second period of my little online schooling, Nintendo decided it would be kind of funny if they decided to drop a trailer for the prequel to my favorite game of all time, Breath of the Wild, and just drop a quick 6-minute trailer out of the blue during my class, which was very fun, very good for me focusing on what was going on in my class. But yeah, seriously, I'm here to talk about Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity because I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. This looks good. This looks very, very good. So yeah, without any further ado, I'm gonna quickly go over kind of what this is and my thoughts and what I think about this game, about this reveal. Spoiler alert, I think it's good. I think this looks really, really good. So yeah, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Obviously not going with the Legend of Zelda or even Breath of the Wild moniker, but instead Hyrule Warriors, which is a game that came out a little while ago on Wii U and 3DS, and then got ported to the Switch, and is made by Koei Tecmo, sort of as like a spin-off Zelda version of their series Dynasty Warriors, which is like this hack and slash game where you just take out hordes of enemies because you're freaking a huge buff dude with a giant sword and just swing once and like a million guys go flying. It's a very interesting style of game. And the Zelda spin-off Hyrule Warriors, got pretty okay reviews. Everyone thought it was alright. It was a much more traditional style Zelda in comparison to something like Breath of the Wild, where they followed the same structure where it's like you have dungeons and bosses and that sort of thing. Now with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, it's that same hack and slash style, but more Breath of the Wild-y, obviously with a story because it takes place as a prequel, and also just the visuals. And they said something about trying to make it a game that Breath of the Wild fans and Hyrule Warriors fans would like, which I don't really know what that means. That could possibly be hinting at some sort of exploration in the game, because the big part of Breath of the Wild was its exploration. But we don't know yet, but that's just my thoughts. And if we scroll down, it says coming November 20th. That's in about 2-3 months, if you count this month. And here we see talking more about the story of the game. So, see Hyrule 100 years before the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game and experience the events of the Great Calamity. Join the struggle that brought Hyrule to its knees. Learn more about Zelda, the four champions, the King of Hyrule, and more through dramatic cutscenes as they try to save the kingdom from the Calamity. Play the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity game to see firsthand what happened 100 years ago. Now, if you don't know, or if you didn't play Breath of the Wild, or if you're a loser, I'm just kidding. If you haven't gotten around to Breath of the Wild, that's understandable, but you really should, because it's a good game. Basically, there's the Calamity Ganon, which was like this prophecy that was gonna destroy the land and, take over the world or whatever. And the Link, Zelda, the four champions, they were all trying to prepare to stop that from happening, to stop Calamity Ganon from destroying the world. And kinda doesn't work out, which leads to Link being frozen in like this time chamber thing until he's woken up 100 years later, and now he's got to go actually finish the job. So that's when Breath of the Wild starts. This game takes place during that initial fight, during when the four champions, when Link, they all lost that initial time before Link goes into slumber for 100 years. And that's, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Like, it's so obvious to me now that, like, they bring up, like, the Great Calamity and what happened 100 years ago so much in Breath of the Wild, yet I never thought, man, it would be cool if we got an entire game about that. A lot of people thought that the Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC was gonna cover more of this, and it kind of didn't. It gave you a little bit more of what you wanted to see with characters and like slight story stuff, but it was mostly just getting an additional cutscene or two with the champions, and you know, you get to see more of Zelda and know her personality better. But it wasn't really the big, expansive story that we wanted out of the DLC. It didn't cover enough. And overall, I think that's kind of a complaint with Breath of the Wild. Its story, while good, there just wasn't enough of it. We didn't get to see enough of the characters, or enough of the world, or enough of what happened 100 years ago. Which is why this is such a fantastic idea. You have an entire game to tell what happened 100 years ago, how those events went down, and then you also get to know more about the 4 champions. You get to know more about Revali and Mipha and Urbosa and Daruk and Zelda, because guess what? They're all playable in this game. Not only do you play as Link, but you get to play as Zelda and all the other 4 champions, which is so cool, and possibly more along the way. We don't actually know. I believe they said more information coming at like the end of this month, so that's also exciting. Probably gonna do a video about that too. But yeah, I don't know how it never crossed my mind that, like, yeah, they should make a whole game about this event, because it's such a huge event in the Breath of the Wild timeline. So yeah, this just makes a lot of sense to me, and specifically them bringing up more cutscenes, and specifically dramatic cutscenes. I'm just really ready to see more of the champions, more of Zelda, because as much as I like them, we didn't see enough of them. So yeah, this sounds fantastic. As for the gameplay, I've never, like, I know there are some people who like really dislike the Muso warrior style of gameplay, but I think it's fine. I like it. It's kind of simple, but depending on which game does it, it can be better or worse. Like, if you're talking about Persona 5 Strikers, which is like the sequel to Persona 5, that was also a warrior style game developed by Koei Tecmo, and I feel like it had a lot of really good strategy in it. It felt fun to fight dudes. It wasn't as simple as a typical Dynasty Warriors, Hyrule Warriors, those kinds of games, because they include other stuff from Persona 5 in there that make it a deeper experience with the combat. And I'm hoping we see something like that here, even if it's like kind of shallow, like just switching characters, or you know, using the right special moves at the right time. I still think it's going to be fun, at the very least I think it'll be fun, because in my opinion, these games are super fun. Just lashing out at like waves of enemies and killing millions of guys at once is a lot of fun, to me at least. So there's no doubt in my mind this is going to be a pretty good game. Alright, I pulled up the trailer just because I want to kind of talk about it. First of all, god damn, this is freaking gorgeous. Like, look at all those guardians. That looks crazy. And you get to see more of like the destruction of Hyrule, and then they do this quick transition. Boom, 100 years ago. You get to see the castle in its full glory. It just looks so beautiful. I love that transition so much. It's so quick. And it's all back. It's so dramatic. And you get to see that shot of Link, Zelda. Yeah, man, the cutscenes, I'm especially excited about. These look great. They showed off a lot of them. And then you get to see more of the gameplay. You see Link fighting a bunch of dudes, explosions going off, and then you see him fighting a big, I forgot what those guys are called. And then you get to see Revali and Mipha. Link's throwing a bomb. You get to see the King of Hyrule. It looks incredible. I'm very excited to see what all this is about. Oh yeah, and this is one of the coolest parts of the trailer. You see Zelda fighting with the runes. You get to see Mipha using some sort of special attack. Urbosa dodging out of the way, slick as hell. This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be freaking sweet. Literally bless this man. Bless Eiji Aonuma, because this man's the GOAT. This man's the greatest of all time. Even in the video, I kind of skipped over it because I just wanted to talk about the trailer. But he talks about how he went to Koei Tecmo and was like, I liked what you guys did with Hyrule Warriors. What if we made a prequel to Breath of the Wild that takes place 100 years back, goes over what happened with the Calamity Ganon, and we can make it a Warriors game? And him putting that much trust into Koei Tecmo to make this is just really incredible to me. They also say that a lot of teams from Nintendo are helping to make sure that like the style is right and that it still feels like a Zelda game. Like even they said every bit of dialogue, the graphics, the story itself was all kind of overseen and double checked by Nintendo. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a fantastic release. With that said though, that's pretty much all I gotta say. This game looks fantastic. It looks so fun. I'm so ready for it. It comes out in 2 months, which is so exciting. And yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We're definitely gonna be covering this game more in the future. And let me know what you think about this game. If you've played Breath of the Wild, are you excited? Do you think it's going to be able to fix some of the problems with the story that you may or may not have had with Breath of the Wild? If you've never played Breath of the Wild, does this kind of entice you to maybe start? Since it is a prequel, you could start here and then go into the first Breath of the Wild if you wanted to, since it would line up chronologically. It would line up Chrono Triggerly. It would line up, and then at the end you could play the Breath of the Wild sequel. But yeah, so let me know any of your thoughts about this trailer in the comments down below. And again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace.